Okay, today is the 21st of October. It's Tuesday afternoon, a little after 4. And sometimes God ordains that we try to play God. We're going to see a little bit of that in this chapter. Sometimes God ordains that we try to play God to teach us a lesson. That's what he did with Sarai, isn't it? Genesis 16. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid, and it may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. This isn't the first time that the husband hearkened to the voice of his wife, is it? Isn't that what happened to Adam when he hearkened to the voice of Eve? And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband, Abraham, to be his wife. This was Sarah's way of trying to play God. That's what it was. It wasn't God ordained that, God didn't ordain that men have children by their handmaids. They were supposed to have children by their wives. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived, and when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. Well, I wonder why. She broke the God-given law of God by advocating it in the first place, didn't she? And Sarah said unto him, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judged between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand, to do it to her as it pleased thee. And when Sarah dealt hardily with her, she fled from her face. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur. And he said unto Hagar, Sarah's maid, Whence comest thou, and whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself unto her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, thou shalt bear a son, and thou shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. So even the Lord shows mercy sometimes to the reprobate. Ishmael was a reprobate, I believe. But I believe that the Lord showed mercy to Ishmael's mother. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, thou shalt bear a son, and when he will be a wild man, his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And she called the name of the Lord. She called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God seest me. For she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Wherefore the well was called Bir-lahai-roi. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which bare Ishmael. And Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abraham. So that began the conflict between Ishmael and Isaac that's happened down through the ages, has it not? I'm going to turn this over to Mark and have him read it. I hope you have a good evening.
Genesis chapter 16. Sir, Abraham's wife bare him no children. She had him a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. Sarah said unto Abraham, Behold now, the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid, it may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. Sarai, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her husband Abram to be his wife. He went unto Hagar, and she conceived. When she saw that she had conceived, her mistress despised in her eyes. Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. When she saw that she had conceived, despised in her eyes, the Lord judge between me and thee. Abram said unto Sarah, Behold, the maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. When Sarai dealt hardly with her, he fled from her face. The angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain, the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, whence camest thou? Whither wilt thou go? She said, I will flee from the face of my mistress Sarah. And the angel of the Lord said to her, Return to thy mistress Sarah, and admit thyself in her hands. The angel of the Lord said to her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. The angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, you are with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard your affliction. He will be a wild man. His name shall be against every man, and every man's hand against him. He shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. She called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God that seest me. For she said, I also here looketh after him, seeth me. Wherefore the well was called Barai. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. Hagar bare between Abram and his son. Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare Ishmael. Ishmael was Abraham was 4 and 6 years old when Hagar bare Abraham.
Thank you, Mark. If Sarah had followed the precepts of God and done it His way, that would have saved a lot of heartache. But God ordains sometimes that men do try to play God, don't they? All right. Later on, God had a better plan, didn't He? When He told, the angel told Abram that his wife would bear a son at her old age, and she laughed. She laughed, didn't she? She laughed. A lot of people are laughing at God. But you know what? God's laughing right back at them. He says He'll hold them in derision. That's what He says.